Oatsdale here. Just going to talk a little bit about using up all your scraps and things. Have a look down here and you'll see that piece that I was stitching while I was away. There's all the little offcuts and things, and I keep them all. I mean, sometimes I have them in a jar, but often I have them isolated, you know, so all the bits that I was working with when I was away, I cut off all the ends and brought them all back and added to others. Silly, isn't it? But that's how it goes. And then you can put them together and make a little piece of fabric which you can use at your leisure. And I've just 2 sheets of Romeo, one over the top. Could make it much bigger, and I'll just very quickly show you what I do. People keep asking. I presume people know all these things, and then I realise that it's all a new experience. So my machine is on feed dogs down, 0, everything. Bring the top stitch up, bottom up to the top. Use a thread that complements what you're doing, and just stitch it all down. I use circles a lot of the time, but look, just a way to anchor all the bits and pieces down. So how easy is that? Now, and then when you've done that, you've got a big piece like this. This is lots of threads, and I've just all sorts of things, and I've also used a bit of a metallic thread. You can see this, the sparkle through it. It's an old Superior thread that is no longer available. It's called Halo, and but I've got it all there, and then I've got a large piece I can cut up. So look here, I've cut some up, then I've put them back onto my surface of Romeo, and I've added little extras out the side, re-stitched them, put a little space on. That could be a nice little brooch, or it's firm enough to, you know, be a neck piece or whatever it is that you want to do. And then when they're finished, I've put a little cord out the bottom of this one, and so when they're all finished, wash them out in warm water, or Romeo needs warm water rather than cold water, but it's because it's a slow dissolving, you can mould with it if you do it that way. So that's that piece there. And back to here, I've shown this before, but this is using the piece and putting it back onto the surface of the water soluble on my Romeo and stitching beyond it. So that's made a little heart. This one again, I've cut a smaller piece and put that back into to stitch it all up. And then with your little pieces, you can do other things. You can cut them out and make them. So this would be like for a shawl, or any sort of lacy piece that you've got. And you can see my pieces are all just been cut up, and they were just scrappy ones. And I've stitched it together with metallic threads, and I've used a wool that I had that matched what I was doing. So you've got a very firm, nice piece, all sorts of stuff in it. And it could be a long piece for a scarf, it's quite washable, etc., etc. So that's that one. And then again, take some fibres, some silk fibres, and put them between 2 layers and stitch all over it. So there's the silk fibres. These silk fibres are so beautiful and so versatile, not just for making silk paper, but for trapping and in water soluble. Wonderful for a scarf. This is another little sample from it here, just mucking around practicing things. And this time I've done a fish shape. So I put my silk fibres in and stitched them up to make into a fish shape. And if you've got, like this one here, you may recall at some stage I was working with nail varnish. So I've nail varnished up, and I've just added to it, so it's like a little bit like something from seaweed, or, you know, just use your imagination to see how you're going. And then finally here, if you've got automatic patterns on your machine, and I've not done this for a long time, but this is one where I've stitched a motif that's on my Husqvarna. It possibly isn't even there now after I lost all my stuff. And then it's all stitched on Romeo, and you just wash it out afterwards. And this one is exactly the same motif, but I've added to it by stitching, once it's done, or it's on there, I've taken it off, and then stitched one of my patterns from, you know, the automatic pattern onto it as it's gone. So that's just to show you how you can use it and how versatile, and just wonderful. Like, you cut all this off and have that as little bits of seaweed and all that sort of thing. So there's a little idea for this week, and hope you enjoy that and run with that idea, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.